A couple weeks ago, a trend was going around the radioactive wasteland that is twitter.com of people putting their pictures into Midjourney or ChatGPT or whatever they did to turn them into little doll packaging or Ghibli characters or video game characters or whatever other stupid thing they could think of. And truthfully, some of these are cute. The ideas, at least. This doll one is cute, and I love Studio Ghibli, but of course the use of AI is absolutely abhorrent. I made videos before on the topic of AI character designs, and I know that my audience mainly consists of anti-AI artists, so I'm preaching to the choir here instead of changing anyone's minds. AI enthusiasts often claim that AI makes art more accessible to those who are disabled, and while their point initially seems admirable, the people making these claims are not disabled and are not unable to pick up a pencil and learn how to draw. They just don't want to. Disabled people have been making art since art was invented. If a literal penguin can create art without opposable thumbs, there is a way for disabled people to make art. If there's a will, there's a way, and if you are resorting to using AI art, you have no will. But what if I have no hands and can only use text-to-speech to input a prompt to generate a picture of my character? At that point, I feel like you have bigger problems on your mind. If you are dead set on having a picture of you as a Sonic character or a Studio Ghibli character, of course there's always the best option of commissioning an artist, but I realize that we're in trying times right now and not everyone has the time to learn how to draw or the disposable income to spend on commissions, and nobody is attacking you for that. So today I wanted to highlight some of my favorite AI-free ways you can create a character design of your own. But I just wanted to tell you something beforehand. Yes, you. Your designs do not have to be perfect. They don't even have to be good. If you're worried about commissioning an artist because you're embarrassed of your character design, I promise that we aren't judging you or clowning on you. We're really thankful to you for trusting us with your character that you clearly care enough about to pay for art of. Sending an artist a Gacha Life character or a Sim screenshot or a picrew is not an offense or an embarrassment, so don't hesitate to use any or all of these to create a reference for a commission of a character in your head that you want to see on paper, on digital, in your Google Drive. But before I show you my favorite character design tools, this video is very kindly sponsored by Paperlike. Paperlike is exactly what it sounds like. It's a screen protector for iPads designed to make them feel like paper. Paperlike uses nanodots, which are just small textured microbeads on the surface of the screen protector to mimic the feel of paper. You know, the satisfying scratch of a pencil and the sound of your lead hitting the page. As an added bonus, the Paperlike reduces glare on the surface of your iPad, making it much more bearable to use under bright lights or even outside. Here you're watching me apply the Paperlike to my iPad, and the package itself comes with everything you'll need, like alignment stickers, dust wipes, and a QR code that will take you to an in-depth instructions page with both a video demonstration as well as a text version. This was my first and only attempt to get it on, and even though I am notoriously bad at following instructions, it was so simple and straightforward that I was able to get it on first try and start drawing with it right away, and it's been on my iPad ever since. Plus, each pack comes with 2 protectors in case you need to restart or ever need to replace it, or if you have 2 iPads of the exact same size. After a few weeks with it now, it is super easy to get used to the texture, and it really does feel like you're drawing on a piece of nice, high-quality paper. If I had to describe the feeling to other digital artists, it replicates the feeling of drawing on the screen of a really nice drawing tablet rather than the smooth, frictionless surface of the iPad, which is personally one of the reasons why I didn't like to use my iPad outside of work. Paperlike is so confident that you'll love their screen protector that they have a 100-day money-back guarantee, so if for whatever reason you don't 100% love it, they'll replace it for you or refund what you paid. But truthfully, it will take you much less than 100 days to get used to it and love it. Paperlike is perfect for digital artists like me, but is also used by students, writers, and anyone who uses their iPad for pretty much anything. They have a Paperlike for every iPad going back as far as 2019, so it's not restricted to the newest iPads. My iPad is going on 5 years old and my Paperlike fits like a glove. If you want to check out Paperlike, make sure to click the link in the description or in the pinned comment. Thank you so much to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. Option number 1, Gacha Life. You know them, you love them, Gacha Life videos. But legitimately, Gacha Life is such a good free resource for character creation, and I really wish that I was joking. When I don't know where to start with a design, I actually often open Gacha Life on my phone and just play around with different options without the commitment of having to draw, then erase, then draw again. Even if Gacha Life doesn't exactly capture the vibe that I'm going for, it's a great starting point and often a good way to pick out colors and vibes. Plus, of course, they make great references for commissions. I often have clients send me their Gacha Life OCs, and it gives me a great starting point rather than just a description. Gacha Life is also 100% free, so there really is no excuse for not having access to character design tools, even if you're afraid of being cringe. I will be the first in line to admit my cringe activity. I am a Gacha Life player. I use it in my character design process. Feel free to lead me to the guillotine. Gacha Life has gotten so in-depth and detailed in the past few years, and there are so many customization options that I can genuinely highly recommend it as a character design tool for both beginners and advanced artists who don't know where to start with a design. Plus, unlike with some of the other tools on this list, Gacha Life saves the character in their individual parts, so you can always go in and change it later. With normal character creators, you have to save it as an image, which means you have to completely remake it later if you want to change even just a small detail about the character design. But Gacha Life has, I think, 100 or 1,000 slots or something like that for characters, and you can duplicate them, so you can mix and match and do pretty much anything your heart desires. So yeah, if you're completely new to character design and can't draw to save your life, but you want to make something, I would recommend starting out with Gacha Life wholeheartedly. Option number 2 is Picrew. Picrew is a free Japanese website full of character creators made by independent artists that range from furries to anime boys to cute chibi creators. Pretty much any style of character you're looking to create, Picrew will have a character creator for you. For Picrew specifically, make sure to read the rules that the artist has put in place on how you can use the images that you can make in the creator. Some are fine with reposts on social media and for use in profile pictures and whatnot, but aren't okay with commercial use. When in doubt, go with the safe option and keep your images just for personal use or for reference for commissions. I'll leave a few of my favorite Picrews linked down in the description. A common criticism of Picrew, though, is the lack of representation, especially for darker skin tones, in a lot of these creators. Even though they're all made by different people, a running theme is that they'll have a few options for lighter skin tones and then maybe 1 or 2 slightly tan skin tones, or if you want to be completely egregious, just a straight up gray skin tone. Though several Picrews have been made to combat this epidemic, like the black centered Picrew, which is pretty popular. It's extremely in depth and obviously mainly made to make black and brown people. Like, look! That's me! If you are looking for a more anime-styled character creator, Picrew has a ton of really good options for you, even though some of them are lacking in the skin tone department. The options for clothing, colors, and accessories can sometimes also be limited in these Picrews. You don't get a color wheel like you do in Gacha Life, which is unfortunate, but Picrew is really fun to mess around with and can also be a really good jumping off point if you find a super great one to use. Option number 3 is doll websites. Since the discontinuation of Flash, a lot of online dress-up games are now defunct, but there are still quite a few websites with lots of high-quality working doll makers, such as my personal favorite, Doll Divine. I used to use this website to make OCs in middle school on my school-issued Chromebook and would get flagged for playing games and get called down to the office. But that's neither here nor there. Doll Divine is quite similar to Picrew, but tends to have more character creators based on existing IP like Pretty Cure or Sailor Moon or Tinkerbell. So if you're trying to make a character based on something like that, this is probably where I would look first. A few of the games are a bit laggy and don't work great, but with enough patience you can come out with a few great character designs for commissioning or drawing. Doll Divine also has several sister websites. The one I can think of off the top of my head is Azalea's Dolls. These websites don't have a whole lot of options for creating boy characters, but if you're trying to make a magical girl OC or a Disney princess OC or something like that, then this is definitely where I would start. Option number 4 is The Sims. The Sims 4, or the least best Sims game, recently went free to play, which means that its super in-depth character creator is now available for anyone to use. The Sims base content is a bit lackluster, but the custom content made by fans is like unlocking a whole new game. It's super easy to start downloading custom content, so I'm not going to explain it here, but I'll link a few videos in the description. Make sure to be careful when downloading from websites, make sure to have an ad blocker installed, etc. What I like to do is search for Sims 4 custom content on Pinterest and then click directly on the link to take me to the download page. Oftentimes it will lead straight to a creator's free post on Patreon that you can download directly from. Once you've spent 7 straight hours role-playing retail therapy and have an adequate amount of custom content, making your OCs in The Sims is super easy and in-depth. Plus, it comes with the added bonus of getting to watch them set the house on fire because they microwave their macaroni for a bit too long. I will say, The Sims isn't great for fantasy OCs, but if you have OCs whose stories take place in like a regular world, who are just regular humans with nothing going on, then The Sims is definitely my pick for something like that. Plus, similar to Gacha Life, the Sims are saved in the game and you can edit them at any time if you download new custom content or if your OC's story changes and you need to shave their head or something. Plus, if you make multiple OCs, it's really fun to watch their relationship with each other. I made My Hero Academia OC and their son and their entire apartment, and they are so cute. Sometimes it's really fun to watch your little guys run around the house and interact with each other. Option number 5 is mood boards. Now, this video is not sponsored by Milanote, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. I use Milanote to create mood boards for pretty much any character I'm even thinking about designing. Even when I don't show the boards on screen in my videos, most of the time I'm using a Milanote behind the scenes to plan out my redesigns because just knowing what I'm going for can be a huge help if I don't know where to start with a character design. I know this sounds like an ad, I swear to God it's not. This one is a bit better for artists rather than people who don't actually draw, because I do actually draw the design myself after I've made a Milanote board, but it really does give me a huge boost of inspiration to have a foundation rather than just going off of whatever is rattling around in my piggy bank brain at any given moment. Normally I insert sprites of characters I'm taking inspiration from, pictures from Pinterest, just a side note for doing things like that. Oftentimes on Pinterest, artists aren't properly credited. I'm on Firefox, but I imagine that this is probably on Google Chrome as well. I have an extension called Search by Image, but you can also do this manually. Dragging the image into Google Images and then searching by exact matches. Most of the links will be Pinterest reposts, but oftentimes there is a lone Twitter or TikTok or Instagram link, and it might take a bit of digging, but if the artist's work is still on the internet, then you can find the original artist quite easily. Whenever I do this, if I haven't already, I make sure to comment the original artist handle and their platform under the pin, and in my Milanote board I make a caption with the artist handle and platform under the picture. But yeah, keeping that in mind, making mood boards is highly beneficial to character design, and I personally like to use Milanote for my mood boards. I've also just seen people copy and paste the images onto their canvas in whatever drawing program they use, which works fine as well. Option number 6. Any game with a character creator? Do you know how many hours I spent in the Baldur's Gate 3 character creator when I first started the game? I have 120 hours in this game, and 119 of those were spent in the character creator. The other 1 hour was spent petting the dog. There are so many games with in-depth character creators for you to use to create different styles of characters. Baldur's Gate 3 is the first one that comes to mind, but of course there's Animal Crossing, Tomodachi Life, Miitopia, Stardew Valley, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I don't really play that many video games. My friend Tansy specifically made multiple Baldur's Gate saves so she could play as each one of her OCs. The options for character customization are legitimately just endless, even if you can't draw. There is absolutely no excuse for using AI to create your character designs for you. With how long AI has been a mainstream problem, there is no reason to not be educated on the way it steals from artists and harms the environment. I highly encourage you to do your own research and make educated decisions on the kind of technology you choose to engage with. Using picrew and doll creators and playing video games directly supports the artists who worked on those projects, even if it's not monetarily. But there are so many artists out there who would love to draw your little Gacha Life or Sims or Breaking Bad, Baldur's Gate 3. Don't leave that in. So many artists would love to be sent a few screenshots of somebody's Gacha Life OC for them to draw for a reasonable price. And if you really want to create a character of your own without anybody else's help, don't use AI to do it. Do you know legitimately how easy it is to learn to draw? Are those drawings going to be good immediately? No. But putting pen to paper in any capacity, no matter how bad it looks, makes you an artist. This started as a discussion of character creators and turned into what makes an artist. But no matter your skill level, no matter how old or young you are, no matter how bad or good you think that your art looks, it will always look better because you made it. Thanks so much to the people who paid for me to purchase $600 worth of cherry-flavored extra-strength 5-hour energy. My amazing $10 patrons, Puntastic Artist, Little Wolfine, Viyun, Gar, Zigo Buzz, Wishing Star, Speckadoodle, Billy Lover, Neko Jack, and Tyree West. as well as all of my other patrons, all of my subscribers, everybody who watches this video, everybody who likes and comments. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If you're not new, get a new computer, make a new Google account, and subscribe again. If you want to support me, go back to the beginning of the video and watch it all the way through again, and then keep doing that until your computer explodes. Thank you once again to Paperlike for sponsoring this video. I am Lucky Inkiio. There is a fly in my office, and I will see you very soon.